Hey guys, Tin Man here. Just gonna do a bit of a live, seeing as though I got the live. So hello. I'm gonna talk about these stairs. 100 years, am I off 20 years or something like that? I could be. There was a newspaper clipping or a note in this window of the information location for, to get the local information. Anyways, there was a note there stating how old these stairs are, and that I think they're going to be redoing the plaque and so on and so forth. So it's an interesting thing to be following at the least. What I want you guys to realize by at least once again seeing this one, and if you compare this one to the last one, this video is quite old, and look at how bright that's standing out, and I think it might be the same spot, and I think they've just ground it down a little bit finer. But the reason, I put up a video earlier stating that to keep doing this and to keep doing this, I do have a number of people that are appreciating it, but that number doesn't seem to be growing much. So I feel like I'm just repeating myself a lot. So I need a little bit different level of an interaction. If people want me to press on this kind of stuff, so you can see the very quick changes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk this front first before I get into anything else. Because in all these comparison other videos that I have up, you will see in each one of these cavities where it's been breaking apart, them getting worse. There's a brand new looking one anyways in the color of it. On that, one of the ones that I've talked to, they've changed so much, I'm not even really recalling. Other than this one right here. This is one, because how I'm recalling this one is because I talked about this one in the very first couple of, where am I, in the right spot? Yeah, videos about maybe they're pulling some dirt there, guys, and tossing it down. So what you're going to be able to see from there is a lot more of breaking. See this? It's very easy for me to take some moss and put it right here, and it actually start to produce, especially in this weather. Question would be, is that moss that's producing right now in here, is it the same species of that moss, or is it a little bit different? Does that matter? It's a question. The other day, so let's go back about a week back, I noticed this rock. I didn't notice it sticking out that much. It wasn't. So I came down and I just went, I think I did a little bit of I did something, and I knew it shifted all right here. And now it's out even further. So I could probably, well, they've jammed it. That's kind of neat, because it was easily to remove. Not as easy as this one, but it was removable. This one here, a couple of times around when I've been here at night, or one time I should only say, it's been flipped upside down. So now we get to see these cavities becoming larger in there, and somebody might want to wonder if those are at all could be rodents or something like that, and it's not. I watch them, I look inside them, and I can always find dead ends and such like that. So this isn't in any way rodent work. People, the people who don't get what I'm talking about, look at this now. Yeah, I'm not even going to go with people who don't get it. It's all about them trying to try harder. See that crack right along there, the separation between this tread and the top landing there? Right there? Well, that wasn't there recently, and I've talked a lot about that, and we talked a lot about the gaps here, because on the higher section they were doing more of that kind of gapping that I'm pointing out right there. Up here they were more into this fracking like this, breaking it all up like that, and look at all the pieces around and stuff. And if you really did come up here, like I basically always just use my hand, but if you really did come up here and you start smacking around, you're going to realize that hurts a lot. And this is not weak. It's not weak failing concrete. It's doing fine, especially for the amount of foot traffic that comes on here. So anyway, so now we come up here, and I'm going to show you, or do I want to go here? Hold on, I'm going to go here quickly. When I was walking down here, I was seeing quite a bit of the sand stuff going on. So there's a fair amount of wherever they bring the sand from, or if there's really ants going on in there. they may be bringing it out. But I also see a fair amount of the white concrete fragments, very fine and small in here. And that's one thing they don't do, is when they're breaking away at this concrete and stuff, they don't leave a lot of the fragments all over the place like that. They leave it either where it's just combined in with the sand, or they leave it right with the break. But here you can kind of see there's a bunch of that light sand spread around. And when you go here, you can really see how these stairs are cleaned up. The faces of them, those are the kicks of the stairs. That's like where your toe would kick. Look at these ones. Look at the stages of these ones and such. And then come down and just watch them change. And you get to see some edging going on here. Like I said, they preemptively come back and make sure they continue dirtying this edge. That really nice white one we see right there, next time we look, it might not be so white. So you can kind of see real good cleanup going on there if you know the know of what's going on. If you're new to my channel, then you're getting into the new know. I have the name Tracker on my channel for a reason, because I straight up will tell anybody to their face, not a problem, that I track them, and I have figured out how to track them, and I'm teaching the signs because there's so many of them, and they're troublemakers, they're mischief makers and stuff. They're causing quite a bit of problem. Here you can see all this facing has been cleaned up quite well. And if you don't understand that, it should really resemble a lot more like this. And what they do is, let me get in here close and see if you can see better what's going on there and stuff. So like right here, say, they've just come in and they're lightly just working, taking this moss off. Another thing that I find really kind of interesting, peculiar, is how very little of the actual stone has the moss on it like this. It's like they've kept most of the moss following the pattern of being around the stone. You got to reach out there with this thinking and going, where is this guy thinking he's coming up with this stuff? And I'm just telling you, there really is patterns. So anyways, we talked about a lot more gaps along on the topper tread here, and right here you get to see there's a few here. So before I finish off this video, hopefully you stay in connection here. But you see this? You see that stuff pretty good there? That is a huge suspect of trying to figure out what's going on. See this line of it right there? If I chipped away at that, the stuff that's penetrated, okay, we can see the actual scribing then. Mark. I first noticed this stuff going on out on Vancouver Island. On this in particular statement of where we get to see it, we mostly just see it on the concrete pattern. We don't see it going across the rocks. But when I was on the island, I could see where, however they're scuffing, because I'm saying what they're doing is maybe taking a claw and going like this, and some kind of whatever's going on, if this is pulling out a calcium out of the rock, out of the concrete. And the reason why I'm saying this is because here I could understand, okay, somehow they're maybe scratching the concrete and the calcium's coming out of the concrete. We put calcium in concrete for the hardening process. Maybe that's what's going on. But I have detected this stuff going across rocks, so that's where my confusion lies. So if anybody can really help me there. Now another thing I want you to notice is all the scribing around that. You see all this nice scribing? Yeah, one of my fans. Yeah, it's Tin Man. But so you see all this scribing. That's them. Right over here, there's a nice one there, but I want to try to remember from this side. I want to try to remember the look of this one, because we can see the scribing. Let me do a bit of a zoom. Then maybe what you're going to be able to look for is you're going to look for extended scratches, because like I say, they scribe, and what I'm meaning is they're scratching. So they're scratching out the concrete right along the edge of the rock. Let me jump up to this higher one. Let me try to look. And like what we want to know from what I'm doing right now is let's figure out how far they're reaching in. You know what I mean? So if we can figure out how far they're able to reach in to do this scribing, then you're really getting into the microscopicness of these claws. And like I said recently, on that steel hand railing, it looks like they've done such a microscopic cut in that railing into the galvanized steel, so microscopically we can barely trace it, but it exists. I think I've seen it, the pattern of it. I'm going to get back there and get some more better videotaping or something, but yeah, so this is life here. This is all what's going on, guys. Thanks for the thumbs, thanks for the support, all that kind of stuff. You know, anybody who's giving me support and then I'm giving shit and stuff like that, that's just kind of in my nature. I do that with my kids and stuff. We can't always pull back on our giving shit attitude, because then other people think you don't give a shit and it doesn't seem as big as a deal, right? So I naturally do have this give a shit thing, and sometimes I'm really barking at the wrong people, and I don't mean to be doing that. Okay, before we go, let's get this beautiful view. And I think from this angle, we can tell she is standing more. So remember on these two trees in front of us, there's three trees in front of us. This one right here has a big branch coming out here. This branch, I'm still sticking with my prediction that before the end of the year, I think it'll happen. But sometime in the next year's time, it's going to be standing up to with these flags, I believe, that in particular branch. A whole bunch of other stuff will end up being broken off. So let's remember those designs below from this. I'm on the first landing here. Anyway, so this tree also has a long branch. That's actually one of these ones that's extending out here pretty long from that one. It's not so much from that one. That one, I believe, is going to be the one that they stand up. So how do I know these things? See those two trees right there? They are a smaller version of this tree right here. These two trees, I got to see them in a few months stand up. You see how that one seems like it's almost vacant in a way of branches? That one does have a certain look if you get around to, I think it's on that side, or it might be on that side, but this one has filled out very well this year. This one here shows a lot of the vacantness. And as I explain this, you really have to use your imagination to understand what I'm going to point out here. You see, still now this tree comes up and it has a bit of an S curve. It's not even really an S, it's whatever that angle that would be. What can we call that angle? So it comes up and then it's got that angle, which I'm going to call 80-degree angle or something. Yeah, let's go with like an 80-degree angle. And then once again, a straight up tree there. The rest of it. Well, that angle used to actually come. I'm going to try to give you the shape of it with my nail right there. It used to come, and then it would come, so it came like this, and then it almost like it was folded back on top of itself, and then the tree came up a little bit. So that's why that area was all blank and branch, because that part of the tree was actually down there and kind of facing that way, so it didn't grow any branches under that edge, because it used to be down, and now it stood up. Well, once again, also, if you kind of look at the part of the tree trunk there, you can still see a little bit of style of an S also there, or a angular right there, and it did the same thing. So that tree in reality, see that hydro pole? It's how I used to kind of keep an eye on it. It was this small hydro telephone pole there. And it was somewhere in the area of the same height of it, maybe even shorter. Anyway, so what's been going on is it's been standing up. And so what you're getting to see right now is, I'm going to zoom in there. Should have been zoomed in there before, I wasn't really thinking. So now what we're seeing there is we're seeing that short curve that it has in it. Can you make it out well? Trying to keep it right in the middle, go into this angle a bit. And that will, in my theory, in my seeings of what these guys have been doing, it's not really my theory, it's just what I've been registering, noticing these guys been doing, is some of the trees, they'll stand taller. This one, they have been standing taller. unless I talk about it too much and point it out too much and they get an attitude against me and just decide to leave that tree alone, they could choose to do that. So I haven't really gone right up to the edge of the road there at all to do any examining on that tree, and it's a better idea than going and standing over there. If you're trying to follow these guys and try to figure out what they're up to at all, then if you give them less attention is better. Have them in your attention, but try not to tell them that you have them in your attention at all. See, our little country, our town here and stuff, if you look across the river, we got tons of stuff on that side of the river that just represent farmland, where they hang out in the day and then they can just swim over and come into town here however they like, or the ones that choose to live around here, because I'm hooked up to miles and miles and miles of what we're looking at right there. It's just a continuous line. Maybe the odd spot you have to go over the road. Most of the time anybody could make it under the road. I'm going to kind of end this with pointing out that that mountainside up there. And one thing that I have noticed in our country here, in our province, hopefully you can see it a bit through the zooming. You see how you can make out a whole bunch of treetops? And now if we went through kind of right in the middle now, see how it's almost a little bit nicer manicured? It's just like a smooth flowing there. That's really the old look. The newer look is going to be continuing to be a chopped up more what we're seeing in there. And just watch for that, because it is it's an ongoing event. And maybe you don't notice it in your area, and that might be a good sign. Or maybe you're just learning to notice it, because I still am learning a lot from these guys. It's just getting crazy. And yeah, so just have it in your awareness that if you watch trees, you will see them change in design. And that change in design, you're going to be able to reflect on and start to understand more. Peace out from Tin Man. I'm going to check out the few we had lots of comments. It's Sasquatch time. Gave a like, awesome. Love you, fam, always. What's up, Ian? Hi. Hi, everyone. Much love. Hi, yo. Love this channel forever. Nice. Love you. Yo, fam. Peace. Or till next time. Awesome. Lame stream. Science says they don't exist, but people know they are real. Whoever you are, Chris, when he does even a correction, he does my lame. Oh, you got a lame stream? Oh, okay, Chris. Thanks for letting us know. Chris, do you believe in God? And then howdy, buddy. Peace out, guys. Thanks for everybody stopping in. Hey, Bigfoot Memphis. Peace out. And Coyote Slayer, take care.